Firstly, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm going to break this traveling journey down as there were times that I totally forgot about filming. There was a lot of distractions, obviously traveling so far with 2 children. But the start was Monday the 11th, and we left our home, our tiny home, said goodbye to everyone, and we caught a 1 hour and a bit, 1 hour and 40 train from Gold Coast Station to Eagle Junction. So we obviously had all our luggage, so that was our first test. We managed to quickly get all the luggage on in time before the doors closed of the train, which was a little bit stressful. And then yeah, from there, Zephyr really enjoyed the train ride. Went pretty quick, to be honest, so that was good. Then we got to Eagle Junction and we had to get a maxi taxi, which was a bit of a nightmare due to us arriving sort of at a peak hour with traffic. So we waited about 40 minutes for a maxi taxi to pick us up and took us to the hotel that we were staying at in Clayfield, which is just a 15-minute drive from the airport. So we stayed the night at that airport, at that hotel on that Monday night. Okay, so then we woke up and we travelled, got a maxi taxi that we had pre-booked the night before to take us to Brisbane International Airport, where we checked in. Went pretty smoothly. We just rocked up when we went to check in. That was all good, but yeah, then there was a massive line just to get down to the security part where you put all your carry-ons and things through. Yeah, that was a big line, so that was a bit of a challenge with the kids to start off with, but once we got through that, that was all good. And obviously we waited to board, and then that was it. We flew out. We caught a Air Canada flight from Brisbane City all the way to Vancouver, so I think in total it was around about 14 hours. And to be honest, the kids did pretty good. You know, apart from it was good having entertainment. Zephyr was watching cartoons and Solar was sleeping here and there, but they weren't screaming like sometimes you get on a plane with children. They were really, really good, so we're very grateful for that. But obviously it was a long time. Zephyr maybe slept for 3 hours, but other than that, Fatima and I may have got 15 minutes to 30 minutes of sleep, so that was all good. So by the time we arrived in Vancouver, it was 6:20 a.m. on the Tuesday the 12th, and for us it was in Australian time exactly pretty much midnight on that same Tuesday. So we were arriving basically at midnight, so it was really hard adjusting, and we had an 8-hour layover in Vancouver Airport, which we managed to find a playground for the kids to play at. That was pretty good. And then from there, after that 8-hour transit, we caught another Air Canada flight from Vancouver to Mexico City. This was a little bit more challenging just at the end. Obviously we had travelled another 5.5 hours on top of the 8-hour layover and another 14-hour flight from Brisbane to Vancouver. So by that time we were pretty delusional. We were all zombies. The kids were starting to scream in the last hour on that flight. So a bit of a challenge. But we were just glad and grateful in the end that we were able to go on this journey and arrive in Mexico City. Okay, a little break. Make sure you like this video to help our channel out if you enjoy our content. We really, really appreciate it. Now let's get back to the journey. Then we had to go through customs, and I had to show a few things that I had pre-done of the itinerary to customs on why we wanted to stay for 6 months, because we needed to get 180 days. In the many years up until about November last year, you could literally just come for a holiday for a week and still get granted a 180-day visa, but they started to get a lot stricter on that, and now it's a little bit harder to just rock up and get 180 days. So because I had found that out before we left, I sort of prepared a lot of paperwork and things like that to say that we were looking to stay in Mexico for 175 days, and I'd written in Spanish, you know, if we are granted that, when we appreciate this is our itinerary, but we haven't booked too much, because we don't know if we are guaranteed to stay this long. We won't be able to get a refund for all the accommodation that we booked. So there was a few questions asked at customs where he left, and obviously went into a different room to speak to his other workers to get more questions that he came back with. So all up, we're probably there for about 20-25 minutes answering questions. But luckily enough, we went through and was granted a 180-day visa. So we're in Mexico for 180 days, which we're really pleased about. Otherwise, we needed our plan B, which was whatever days we were given, we would have to leave Mexico. But luckily enough, we got 180 days, so we're very grateful to be here in 180 days. From there, we booked the Hilton in the airport, purely the fact that we didn't want to go outside. We arrived at Mexico City. By this time it was 1:20 a.m. And so we wanted to make sure that we weren't having to travel too far away from the airport to find accommodation. So we pre-booked the Hilton in the hotel, in the airport. So we literally just went up an elevator and got into the hotel, and by this time it was 2 in the morning, so we were quite hungry, so we ended up having a bit to eat, and then we went to sleep for a couple of hours, and then woke up the next day. I think by this time it's Wednesday the 13th at about midday we woke up. So yeah, body clock completely out of whack, and then the next day night was a nightmare. Like, we were sleeping for 1 hour, 2 hours, and one of us would be up, one of the babies would be up, so that second night was pretty brutal. But in the end, again, like, it's part of the journey, and we're very grateful, to be honest, just to be out and traveling throughout Mexico. After 2 nights at that airport hotel, it was time to fly Aeromexico to Cancun, and so check-in was a little bit of a process. I had to speak a little bit more Spanish than I would have liked at the time, but yeah, we managed to get through that. Luckily enough, we arrived at the airport 2.5 hours before, so we needed that time in the end for just having to go through the process, and yeah, managed to get on that domestic flight. That was pretty up and down. It was like just on 2 hours. So pretty happy with that. And there was entertainment on that. So Zephyr was watching movies and stuff like that. So that was fine. Then we landed in Cancun. So that was cool. We stayed in Cancun for 2 nights before where we are now in Playa del Carmen. So all up, that was the journey. I don't know the hours, total hours, but yeah, in the end, we're pretty grateful to be here. Can't complain. The kids did amazing, and after being here for a week now, we're finally adapted to the time zone, and last night was the best night with the kids sleeping. So that was the journey. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoy our content. See you in the next video.